Well, hi, I'm Danielle. I'm the one that asks all the questions, so maybe you've seen one of my questions, perhaps. I have a lot of questions, that's what my fiance says. As far as how I met my loved one, that is, I feel like, an interesting story to me at least. And so we met on Christmas.
So how did you meet?
So we met, I think it kind of just popped into my head, oh, well, I should just see if I could try to write someone. I was on Write a Prisoner, and he wrote me back the next day, and we just talked and talked and talked.
I was just going to ask if you had ever visited a prison before visiting Ryan.
No, I don't even know if I've driven by one.
What do you think in general has been the biggest obstacle or road bump that you've had to deal with on this journey?
I've had to deal with changing my perspective on some things. There's no book on this. I mean, there's this podcast and really nothing else, right?
I'm going to ask how your family and friends responded to you telling them, if you told them about Ryan.
My family is a little bit trickier, I think. I try to understand, they're parents and I'm not a parent, so maybe I just don't understand.
You guys are the perfect couple for us to even start this series out with, because I
know.
feel like it's so great. It's everything we talk about, you know what I mean?
This is for the prison wife. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold.
Yesterday was my visit, my family contact visit with Michael, his best friend, which is like a sister, like my sister-in-law, and his brother. And last week I was talking about how anxious I was because me and his brother do not speak at all. And we obviously have not spoken since we had this fight. When Michael and I first started visiting together. So yesterday I pull up to the prison and I'm already on anxious mode. I forget to spray my perfume. I forget to change my gum out. I'm already walking in like a bag of nerves, and I was so nervous. I just forgot to do a lot of things. And I get back there and it's just me and Mike. They haven't gotten there yet. And it's just me and Mike, and I'm sitting here telling him how anxious I am. But once, I will say this. I'm a big overthinker, obviously. And I was so worried about it. And then I remember what you said, don't let him see that it, you're nervous or you're anxious. So I didn't. I just acted normal, like nothing had happened. And it went very well. The visit went well. I will say it was kind of weird. And listen, I don't know Mike's brother very well, because we've only had limited interaction in the very beginning. I don't know if he's not there are some people that are huggers, and there's I'm a hugger, and there's people that don't necessarily hug. I did notice that he didn't hug me at first. And then at the end of the visit, because they left a little early, we had a great time. We laughed, we played games. It was a great day, I will say. I'm glad that he came, and I'm glad that Mike was able to see him because it had been 9 years. But at the end of the visit, he was ready. He was getting ready to walk out of the visiting shed. And I go, oh, bye. It was nice to see you again. And I initiated the hug. I noticed that he did not want to hug me. But at the same time, I don't know if he's just not there are people that are just not huggers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a natural hugger. So I don't know if it was because of that or if he's just not a hugger. He did hug his brother. So,
I wouldn't even,
I just don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it or look at
I'm not.
overanalyze it. Because if he is or isn't, okay, whatever. You were like, I am, so hey, bye.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to end it well, and I wanted to end it hey, no bad feelings here. This was a long time ago. We've all moved on. I'm glad you came. It was good seeing you, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Good. So it wasn't as scary as you thought it would be.
No, it usually never is. I probably make it more in my head than what it actually is. So, Yeah.
Well, hey, that's good.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll come down more and see Michael. I mean, he probably won't come down every year, but maybe every couple of years he can at least come see Michael. And I think Mike enjoyed seeing his brother. So
good.
Spending time with his family. And they got to talk about his mom and all that, which I think was needed. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. So, yeah, not that bad. All done.
Yay.
Anxious for nothing, really. So, but I just wanted to say thanks to everybody that was like really supportive. Thank you to you, Paige, for giving me some really awesome advice because, obviously I get in my head a lot, but I remembered what you said, like just act normal, like just act like nothing's wrong. And, it worked. He didn't act like anything was wrong. I didn't act like anything was wrong. So, boom. All right, y'all. Well, welcome. We are on we're last episode of the 70s, Paige. I can't believe it. 79, y'all. Welcome to Love Within Walls, a prison wife podcast. It's your friendly host, Gigi here, and I'm here with my lovely co-host.
Your friendly host, Paige. Hello, friends.
Whoop, whoop. Well, you guys, we are starting officially our Prison Wife Holiday Storytelling Series. And we have our lovely Danielle, which we will interview later. But let's go ahead and get this party started with some singing and legislation stuff. I'm about to say the S word and I stopped myself. All right, here we go, y'all. What up with that? What up with that? All right, Paige, it is what up with that legislation. Do you have anything?
I do. My first article that I have here is an article that kind of focuses on how pregnant women are treated, not just in the United States, but in every country when they're incarcerated. So, shackled, alone, scared, the grim reality for women who are forced to give birth in prison. The article goes into how there's this woman named Dina Hernandez who was 35 weeks pregnant when she was arrested near her home in San Salvador in March of 2024. The 28-year-old human rights activist who was with her 5-year-old son was accused of illicit association with gang members and jailed without evidence. 3 weeks later, her family received a call from the prison authorities to collect the body of her newborn baby. The cause of death has not been investigated, and the family has no idea what happened or whether Hernandez, who is believed to remain in prison, received any postnatal care. Cases such as Hernandez's are far from uncommon in El Salvador prisons and throughout the world. Pregnant women are often kept in deplorable conditions and denied medical attention. Some miscarry, others go into labor and give birth alone in cells, and many times the babies will die behind bars. This is a quote. Prison is not a good environment for women, let alone someone who is pregnant. There are global organizations that are zooming in on this, but this was just a report by The Guardian that is focusing on several different cases from around the world. It says here, has been 15 years since the UN General Assembly adopted the Bangkok Rules for Treatment of Female Prisoners and Non-Custodial Measures for Female Offenders, the first set of international guidelines to address the situation of incarcerated women. They were formulated in response to the growing female prison population worldwide. Since 2000, the number of women and girls in prison has risen 57% compared to 22% in the male prison population over the same period of time. The UN rules state that the prison should be a last resort for pregnant women and that non-custodial sentences should always be considered first. They also say that instruments of restraint should never be used on women during labor, during birth, or immediately after birth. But the guidelines are constantly being
not
followed everywhere. Yeah. And this isn't even seen as a global gender equality priority in any sense of the word. So, of course, the jailing of pregnant women is also a huge concern in general because, like we said, there are several other avenues that you can explore before putting someone who is near birth in prison. So it's a huge concern. There's a lack of data on these cases because of how they are common, but they're not common enough that you have a large data from each prison. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it happens a lot everywhere, but not in like for the lack of data, especially in poorer countries where they don't have these places to come down and do research. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just terrible. There's a lot of other stories within this article that talk about how even in Cambodia and these other countries, it's a little more even more terrible. I hate to say it than some of the things I just mentioned before. So I definitely recommend you go and check it out, especially all women. It's terrible. Some of the conditions that we talk about what happens in the United States, which is terrible, always is terrible. But these other countries, I can't even.
Yeah, and we've I think we've also done articles where the woman was chained and left, like obviously was getting ready for labor and just left chained in a single person cell. Nobody checked on her, and she either had the baby or miscarried or had some complication. And that was in the US. So, I know that we have rights for incarcerated people, but it still goes, like you said, like the people aren't following the protocols or the procedures correctly that have been adopted. That's so tragic. And I'm just thinking from like a trauma-based research standpoint, prison is trauma. Prison is traumatic, and you're putting a baby. And listen, babies can have. I've done the classes on this. Babies can have trauma in the womb from the circumstances that the mother is put in. So you are now making that baby that's being born, putting that child into a very trauma-based situation, and the baby is experiencing trauma in utero, before it's born. So I would love to see facilities that just cater to pregnant ladies that are treated with nurturing and care, because you don't want to start a baby's life already with trauma coming out of the womb. All right. I have one from, was it? Here it is. Okay. I'm going to do one from Louisiana first. I'm going to get ahead and get started. People already know, my Louisiana ladies already know that we have, a satanic attorney general. And I kind of talked about this on the pod before, how she was trying to bring back the death penalty for children. And she tried. She obviously lost. She lost in the Louisiana Supreme Court. They said they would not overturn the federal, I guess, law that you have to be at least 18 years old to receive a death sentence and be executed in the United States. They turned her down. Thank God. The Supreme Court has been kind of keeping her in check, which I've very much appreciative for, because she is balls to the wall. And now the next step for her is to go to the United States Supreme Court, which I think is already going to be a losing battle, because I doubt the United States Supreme Court is going to overturn that 2005 ruling where you have to be at least 18 years old to be given a death sentence and executed by the state or by the government. So thank you, Louisiana Supreme Court, for holding strong against a tyrant. And also another thing with Liz Murrell, our Attorney General, she has been given, get this, her husband has been given full access to become the defendant of people who he's also a lawyer, her husband. His law firm is going to be eligible to defend death penalty cases in Louisiana. So you have your attorney general who is all about clearing death row by executing 55 men back there.
Why would anyone hire him?
he's got the contract in the state of Louisiana.
So he has the contract to be the first line of defense for like a public defender.
Correct.
How's that
For
legal?
anyone with a death sentence. I don't know, because I listen. I'm a teacher, and
That
I have to
doesn't
do.
sound legal.
I have to. It is. This is from NOLA.com, a very well reputable website. He is about one of 36 partners in a certain law firm, and obviously capital defense advocates argued that the arrangement amounts to conflict of interest because your wife is trying to kill everybody and you're going to try to save them and defend them. Come on. So I take an ethics training every year because I teach in Louisiana, and I can't even accept a gift over $25. Are you kidding me? This seems like very much a conflict of interest, but the court said it's a go. So now you're going to have the Attorney General's husband defending capital punishment cases. Meanwhile, she's trying to gas everybody to death, including children. Go Louisiana. That's how crooked we are, y'all. This is why I say, do not come here. Do not live here. It's not that. It's just, our government is so crooked. So that's one I had.
All right. Well, the next one I have is actually an article written by prisonpolicy.org, which is a great website. They did a really great article. The article is really long, so I'm not going to touch on all of it, but they did an amazing article called Tracking How the Trump Administration is Making Criminal Legal System Worse. The American criminal legal system has always been terrible, but what has happened in the recent months is different. It is a new kind of crisis. Since taking office, the Trump administration has taken actions to eviscerate due process and the rule of law, worsen prison and jail conditions, expand the use of harsh sentencing and law enforcement tactics, eliminate oversight, undermine solutions that reduce incarceration and make communities safer, and so much more, which we talk about every week on here, y'all know. Each action has been troubling, but the true nature of the crisis is only clear when these actions are viewed together in its entirety. On this page, we are tracking Trump administration's efforts to make America's criminal legal system harsher, less effective, and even more unfair. It's important to note that the federal government directly controls only a relatively small slice of the carceral system in America. However, it can set explicit policy that impacts state prison, local jails, and non-federal facilities. We all know that. And the Trump administration is using it to bully, pulpit, and control over federal spending to coerce state and local governments into expanding the size and brutality of their criminal legal system. So there are several points on this page. I'm going to link it when we post this, but it breaks it down. This article breaks it down into sections. Each section goes into great detail, but I'll just read the titles of the sections. Eviscerating due process and the rule of law, undermining proven solutions that reduce incarceration and make communities safer, encouraging the use of extreme sentencing and harsh law enforcement tactics, making prisons and jails even worse, using politics to make the criminal legal system even more unfair, eliminating oversight and transparency. And they go into grave detail in each of those, and they're going to keep this update. They actually created an email account called Federal Tracker at prisonpolicy.org that they're like, hey, and if you think we're missing anything, let us know and we'll add it. So it's a really great resource, and I just wanted to let everyone know about it so that we can all utilize it and pass it on to others.
Yes. The current administration is make America incarcerated again, like the 90s.
Yeah,
I don't remember the 90s.
They want money.
Yeah. Well, I was watching a podcast episode, believe it or not. Okay, I know. Listen. But I saw it and I could not stop watching it. It was George Santos. The guy that just got out, that pardoned, and Tucker Carlson. And he was talking about how, like, companies like Bob Barker's company makes billions and billions and billions of dollars.
It's not true.
It's not true?
Because
Oh,
I unfortunately know that because Joseph thought that Bob Barker was because they make the clothes for CDCR. They're not related to Bob
okay.
Barker and Price
Okay.
is Right, but it is a company
Okay.
that is tied with the prison, but it's not Bob Barker, like that Bob Barker, if that makes.
Okay.
But I thought it was too because I flipped out when I first found that out.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, the guy that loves
Yeah,
animals? Come on, really?
that's why I was like, what? Like I thought he was like all like human rights,
Yeah.
and Joseph thought it was them who did it too.
Okay.
But
But it's a different Bob Barker, is
mm-hmm,
what you're
mm-hmm.
saying. So this company makes billions and billions of dollars because they sell exclusively items, clothing, toiletries, packages to the prisons, and they are making, I mean, hand over foot amounts of money. And I think that obviously when Trump was elected, we talked about this before, that these companies are like, yes, like they're like cheering and clapping for our loved ones to stay incarcerated longer, to stay incarcerated for multiple times, whether that be reoffending. They're preying on that because they're going to make all of this money off of us, off of our loved ones, off of our family, all of it. So welcome. Hey, we're back to I knew we're going to be coming back to the 90s. All of the rollbacks that were happening, we called it, Paige. We definitely called it. So it's just tragic that, we were going so like I know we weren't where we wanted to be, but we were actually starting to make headway. And I'm thinking like, just like for example, talking about how terrible the Trump administration is for incarcerated people. The fact that Joe Biden gave presidential pardons to majority of the people on federal death row, and the fact that now Trump is trying to find a way to take away that presidential clemency pardon, whatever you want to call it, to be able to give them back the death sentence says so much. So, and it looks like, I know, what's that? Starts with a V. Vera Institute was actually like looking into this to make sure that, there's no way that he can do this, but they're going to try. They're going to try. So it's just, it's sad. I mean, it's like, I told you so, like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, we called it. We knew that this was going to happen, last year. All right, I have an update on the Robert Brooks case from out of New York. A former state prison guard was convicted of murder for his role in the brutal beating of an inmate, incarcerated person, says inmate in the article, that was captured on body camera footage. He was sentenced this past Friday to 25 years to life in prison. David Kingsley also received a 25-year sentence for manslaughter conviction in the case. He is the only former guard convicted in the death of Robert Brooks, who was pummeled by correction officers on the night of December 9th, 2024 at Marcy Correctional Facility. 5 other guards charged in the 43-year-old man's death have pleaded guilty also to manslaughter. So obviously he did not plead guilty, and he got sentenced to 25 to life. So hopefully some justice for Robert Brooks's family. Did you have anything else, Paige?
I just had one small last thing. Well, it's not small because it's huge in aspect, but it's just terrible. 4 ICE detainees die in custody within 4 days. In December 2025, 4 people died within 4 days while in U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention, bringing the total ICE custody deaths this year to the highest level since 2004. Disgusting. Advocacy groups are sounding the alarm about the crowding, the poor medical care, and the deteriorating basic conditions, even as official claims the death rates are low. They're like, what do you mean? There's only a few of them dying. And I also just saw a TikTok right before we started filming this of our friend who has her hubby in the federal system in California, the place that they're shutting down. They literally just told them that they're literally making them move and probably go to like the East Coast, Texas, wherever the hell they want to go, because they're turning it into an ICE facility. Not even that it's, because it is falling down, but
Yeah.
they're turning it into an ICE facility.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We're living in the time of monsters. That's all I can say. I mean, it just, if you,
As long as I'm
gonna
living,
keep my
as long as
opinions to
I'm
myself.
living in the time of getting to see them all go to court and like go through the like, I swear to God, I hope that happens, because I can't.
I hope it's like the Nuremberg trials. I really do. I really do. You know, I know those are like war crimes, but still, I mean, you know, if you, like I said, if you've never watched a child have to cry for its parents because his mother's getting ripped out of a car, sit down and shut up. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to say it like that. If you have to watch children lie in these silver foily blankets on the ground because they're illegal and they broke the law, y'all, they're children. They didn't choose their parents. They were here. You know what I mean? I just, to sit there and go, oh, well, they're illegal. I don't care. They're animals. Well, you know, that says a lot about you as a person. But it's just sad, because you know why they're doing this is because they can charge so much money per day to house these people. And so the government gets money
Correct.
from housing. That, I mean, Trump is making it to where, well, we'll subsidize, we'll give you all this money.
It's
if
the
you
same thing
open up
when
a
they were
facility.
talking about how they're talking about how private prison is going to boom this year. It's the same thing. Like, they knew that it's
Yep.
under the same umbrella, and they knew that this was the year that they're going to get their rakes out and start collecting it all.
I just find it hard that California, is it this, because it's not California, it's federal BOP, correct?
It is federal, but it's
Okay.
they're taking it from them.
Wow. So California's signing off on this?
Well, it's federal, so I mean,
Okay, so it's not, it's out of California's hands.
yeah, it's not a
basically.
CDCR facility.
Okay. Wow. That's messed up. All right, I have one more, and it is out of Illinois. Well, no, actually, I'm gonna do the one from Pennsylvania. I'm gonna end on a good one. So in Paige's home state, are you doing this one?
I'm done.
Okay. HB 150 finally passed the House today. It is not today, but Thursday, the compassionate release legislation. And basically it's too many elderly Pennsylvanians are dying behind bars, too many trapped in prison hospital beds, battling cancer, receiving limited care, which costs the state more than $15 million every year. The geriatric prison population has ballooned by, get this, guys, 300%. That's 300. And the existing medical release system is fundamentally broken and unable to address the crisis. So this person, I think it was Representative Rick Krajewski, said, I'm proud we found support today from both sides of the aisle, including 12 Republicans who chose to follow their conscience and join us in support. Most of all, I'm grateful for our movement, our organizers and advocates, family members and clinicians who have fought for compassionate release for decades and finally brought us to this step forward. So congrats to Pennsylvania. Congrats to Representative Rick Krajewski. And he worked with Pennsylvania Working Families to bring about this legislation and get it. And it goes to the Governor Shapiro's, is it Joshi?
Yeah, Joshy.
Joshy's desk for him to sign. And obviously Shapiro
will.
is also on board. So, all right. That's all I had. Did you have anything else? All right. Well, we'll be back with y'all shortly. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of our Holiday Prisonwife Storytelling Series. And we're here with the most beautiful here. This is Dan Gurr, the one that asks all the questions. We love Dan Gurr. I probably butchered your name when I said it the first time. But this is
No,
Danielle.
you said it right.
I did? Okay.
And that was actually my nickname in high school, so it's kind of funny because it's like my
love
first three letters and my first three last, so it works perfect. So you said it right. But
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
hello, Danielle. Welcome to the
Hi.
pod.
Hi, thank you for having me. So
And
exciting. I was like a little nervous, but mostly excited. So
well, you look fantastic. She's all
thank
decked
you.
out. She looks so cute and holiday ready for this pod episode.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and then obviously tell us also about your loved one.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Danielle, or Danger, or Danger, or whatever works for you guys. So yes, I'm the one that asks all the questions. So maybe you've seen one of my questions, perhaps. I have a lot of questions. That's what my fiance says too. He says, you ask a lot of questions and you yap a lot. So he said, this will be great for you to come on here and just talk, and talk a lot. So I was like, yeah, this will be great. So, and I'm a therapist, so I talk as a job too. So I guess I just like to talk.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
I didn't know that
Yes,
either.
I'm a therapist and I work from home. So I work from this room. So it's kind of cool. Like, I feel like today is kind of like a different kind of therapy, but just for me.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God.
yes. But yeah, I just live here alone. I'm a therapist. I live in Michigan. I like to collect a lot of things, and yes. And as far as how I met my loved one, that is, I feel like, an interesting story to me, at least. And so we met on Christmas. So that's why it's going to be kind of fun, because I think this will come out Christmas Eve. So
It
we're
will.
very close to the day we met. So
Aw.
yeah,
Last
kind
Christmas?
of like sweet. Last Christmas
Oh my
would be
goodness.
1 year, and yeah, in like 4 days. So
Oh my goodness. So how did you
yeah.
meet on Christmas?
Yeah, so we met. I was alone on Christmas, which might sound kind of a little bit sad, but my sister's a nurse, and my brother used to be like a what's it called, a news anchor. So they kind of had jobs where we couldn't meet on Christmas, so we would do it on an alternative day. And so we did, and so I was alone on Christmas, pretty bored, just like probably scrolling on TikTok and thinking about random things. And I think it kind of just popped into my head, oh, well, I should just see if I could try to write someone. I had in the past, like men and women, like platonically. This was before I really knew anything I know now. So at the time, years ago, I just thought, oh, I'll just send like a motivational message, or have a pen pal, but it never really worked out. So I never really like heard back from anybody or anything like that. And so at the time, I was really following, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but like the Menendez brothers, and like they were trying to get like a new trial and all this stuff. And so me and a couple of my friends, we were like writing letters and trying to like support like through petitions and stuff like that for them. So I think maybe it was just super on my mind, maybe like criminal justice and just stuff like that. And so I said, well, let me just see, maybe I can write someone else, like in the meantime, while all this is playing out, or just kind of write to someone and have it be more like a pen pal situation. So I was on Write a Prisoner, which is kind of funny in itself, I guess. But then, yeah, I just saw my fiance, Ryan. I didn't think too much of it. I didn't think, oh, he's so cute. Oh, I want to be with him. Like nothing like that. I just kind of wrote him and I said, hey, Merry Christmas. How are you? I like all the things you wrote about. I like all the things you had to say. Hope you're doing well. I think it was pretty short. And he wrote me back the next day, and we just talked and talked and talked. So much so that like a week later I said, you can call if you want to, right? Because we were texting like all the time. So then we started calling all the time. And we would talk for sometimes like 6 hours a day, which is a lot when I think about it now. Like we just never ran out of things to say or talk about. And now we don't talk quite that much because it's very expensive, as I'm sure many people know. But at the beginning it was really nice and romantic. And then about a couple months in, over the phone, he said, I want to be with you the rest of my life. We should get engaged. And I said, of course, which is also kind of a whole nother side story, because I never thought I would want to ever get married, but I guess I just never met anybody that I wanted to marry until I met Ryan. So I said yes. So now we're technically engaged, and we're kind of just taking every day as it comes, and just enjoying the time together till kind of the next steps. So that is how we met.
That is.
And it's such an amazing story. And then
Thank you.
what about like your first visit, like when you actually went from phone
I want
calls
to.
to
Is he in
like
your state?
He lives in the next state over. He lives in Ohio,
Okay.
and I live
Okay.
in Michigan, so it's about 3.5 hours. The first visit, we got kind of lucky. I know some people say it takes a really long time to get in, but we had started talking Christmas, and by like I think January 19th, like I went to see him.
Oh wow.
So it was pretty quick. So January 19th was our first in-person visit, and then that's when he, asked me to be his girlfriend, officially.
Oh my god, not my half
Yes.
birthday.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, so now January is kind of jam-packed. It's like our anniversary, it's my birthday, your half birthday. So, lots going on in January, but it's kind of nice because January is the coldest in Michigan. So
Oh god, yeah.
good things to look forward to now, I guess. So,
Oh my.
yeah.
So I didn't mean to interrupt.
what was that-
Gigi. Yeah, I want to hear about the first.
Yeah, what was it like your first visit going to see
Oh,
him? the
sorry.
first time?
Totally went over
No,
that.
you're fine.
Well, we kind of have, we joke because I feel like I blacked out, at least in the beginning, especially the kiss. I was like, oh, I don't know. It just was so weird to think about, like, the kiss and people watching, and it just, what was it going to be like? Because I'm sure a lot of people, until they go, you only have, like, TV or things to relate to, because before this, I didn't know anybody in this kind of relationship either. So, it was pretty smooth though. I mean, I didn't really have anything crazy happen, I guess. I just kind of made it there. I got there really early. Everyone was pretty nice to me. It kind of worked out because at the time, everything changes all the time. They only had 2-hour visit slots. But I guess because I drove so far, I actually got to stay all day, which that was kind of nice of them that they let me do because it wasn't planned and there were no spots open. But because people didn't show up, they let me stay all day. So I got to stay, I think, like 6 to 7 hours the first day. So that was nice because we held hands, we ate lots of snacks. It's a little bit of a blur, but I just remember my mouth hurt the whole time because I like smiled the whole time. And we held hands the whole time, and I remember thinking, it's the only time I held hands that long, and I didn't feel all sweaty. So it was kind of nice. I was like, oh, it feels like our hands were just meant to, go together. And it was just nice. I didn't feel awkward or anything at all. It was a little weird just seeing, people with guns and stuff, like, walking around and just kind of being like, it's kind of intense, but it just kind of got tunnel vision, and now, as I'm sure you guys know, it's kind of just normal. It doesn't really phase you after a while, but it was really nice the first visit. No complaints.
Have you what was I gonna say? Damn it. I'm chasing the thought now. Have you ever Gigi, you go. I had it and it was there.
I was just gonna ask if you had ever visited a prison before visiting Ryan.
No, I don't even know if I've like driven by one. Well, so in Ohio, there's like I guess like when I travel a lot, so I've been to different places, maybe like old abandoned prisons. I don't know if that counts. So no, I've never been to like a prison or anything like that, meeting someone, or visiting someone, not even. Oh, you know what? That's not true. I'm so sorry. Scratch that. As a therapist, one time I did have to go to a prison to do like a mental health evaluation for someone.
Oh.
So I guess that was my one time, actually. I just kind of remember that. But I guess maybe that felt kind of different only because it was for work. So it kind of just, that was kind of interesting, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I was just there, sitting there in front of like bars, talking to the person for work, but kind of different than Ryan's whole situation.
Have you?
I guess technically yes, but in my mind no, because I did not remember that until now. So when I went, I did not remember that. So
Have you ever been in any like long distance relationships or any kind of relationship similar to this before? Like, or was this like a new?
Yeah. Not really. I guess maybe like a little bit, but still in the same state. I guess maybe in college, probably. I used to live in Maryland before I moved here to Michigan. So I think maybe I had a long distance boyfriend for maybe like a couple months when I I first went to college, so it just didn't really work out anyway. So I guess technically yes, but nothing substantial. So nothing like this where I guess I felt how I feel. So it's hard.
Yeah.
And that's what I even say, that's how when I tell people I was not looking for this, if I was, I would have chosen someone closer, if you think about it, but it just happened the way it happened. I had no idea it would happen like that at all, but he's worth the drive.
I'm curious what,
I see a little.
since you said the like visiting hasn't been that bad and you haven't had too bad of experiences there, what do you think in general has been like the biggest obstacle or like road bump that you've had to deal with on this journey in general?
In general, not like visiting or just
Like the whole
overall?
concept, like even like maybe even dealing with other people or things like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if there's like one specific thing, but I think for me, I've had to deal with changing my perspective on some things. I haven't had the best relationships in my life, romantically. And so going into this, I think a lot of that like trauma and anxieties came up in the beginning. And all you can do, there's no book on this. I mean, there's this podcast and really nothing else, right? So it's like, what are the rules, or like, how do I go about this, and who do I talk to? And all I was exposed to was like TikToks. Hey, prison wives, he has 6 girlfriends. He's using you. He doesn't love you. He's gonna leave you. And love after love, all this stuff. And so I met this person who I feel like was treating me better than anybody I've ever met in my whole life. But there was all this noise, and I feel like it was so hard in the beginning, like to let my guard down and just accept the love almost. It was kind of like, okay, well, you're just going to hurt me like everybody else, or this is just going to go sideways, or, you're going to see something about me you don't like, and it's going to get toxic. And just in the beginning, I feel like I was fighting it, maybe a little, like, pushing some buttons possibly to see like, okay, is he just gonna flip the switch, or is it just gonna change? But the good thing about that too is I feel like that's really changed, like having someone that is just a nice, safe, healthy person be there for you. It is very healing. And then just having to look at that on my own and really honestly take my own accountability with some things and say, at the end of the day, anybody can hurt you, friends, family, romantic, but you can't always think about the worst. Sometimes you have to look at how people treat you. And when I look at how he treats me, there's no red flags. So I feel like it helped me to let that go. But that was hard because I just had Google, and I would post in the groups, I would post on Reddit and just get awful, terrible advice that did not help at all. The typical, leave him, you chose this, why are you doing this? You chose this, why are you sad? You're not built for this. If you have emotions, you're weak. We need prison wives to be strong.
Like, leave now if you're upset. If you think you're upset now. Like, what?
Right. And I was like, I feel like I am very strong, but I think there's a lot of strength in showing emotions too,
Yes.
and no matter where he is, I think love is just hard sometimes too, and life. So, it's hard. I think strength is being vulnerable. So, so I've learned a lot in that way, but that was hard, because it's hard to find a safe person other than your partner to talk to about those things. But thankfully now I feel like I have a lot of people to talk to. So I'm grateful for that.
You've like joined our group and like perfectly like even with our like when we have our video visits and everything, it's like I'm just so glad that you found your way to all of us, because like you're just such like the perfect addition to our conversations and stuff. And that's why I'm so glad, because like we need more people like you as much as
Mm-hmm.
people like you needed to find us. So like it makes me so
Oh, thank
happy.
you. That's so sweet. I'm happy to be here too. It's really nice to have people to talk to about everything, even the silly things, or
Hmm.
even just the weird
Or
things. It's
Marcus.
really nice.
Yeah. Like
Yes,
Marcus.
or
Yeah.
market,
Marcus, yeah.
or the memes, yeah, or anything. It's really nice. It's great. Yes, I feel like I've gained so many friends, which is just I'm so blessed to have people who get it, and I'm blessed my friends outside of like this group and you guys have been really supportive too. They had really no follow-up questions at all. I mean,
That's
they said, we
great.
see how happy you are. 10 out of 10 we support.
That's
So they even
awesome.
come with me so bum to visit and stuff
That
like that.
speaks
So
to your
I've
quality
just been blessed.
of friends.
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how your family and friends responded to you telling them, if you told them
Yes.
about Ryan.
Yes. That's a good question. My family is a little bit trickier, I think. I try to understand, they're parents and I'm not a parent, so maybe I just don't understand. I'm really big on unconditional love, so I feel like as long as you're not, my motto has always been, as long as you're not hurting someone in a really awful, terrible way, whatever you do, I'm okay with. If you want two husbands, you have fun, girl. Like,
Hmm.
if you want no husbands, that's great. You want 10 cats, that's cool. I'm very not judgmental, so sometimes it's hard because I don't judge. I really don't. I don't know if it's my job or what, but I try not to, unless someone's awful to me or disrespectful or something. But so my family, I feel like they're indifferent. They know. I actually typed up, when I told them, a 10-page, I'm not exaggerating, 10-page letter,
Wow.
and I mailed it to them. um, and I thought, and I said, we can talk about it anytime. And they said, you couldn't even give us a call. I said, well, this is the buffer to the call. I was so nervous, and now we don't really talk about it too much, honestly. It's kind of like known, but not, it's like it doesn't really get brought up, but that's why I'm pretty grateful. My friends, they're just very, very, very supportive. They're always asking, how's Ryan? What's he up to? How's he doing? They've come to visit a couple
Oh,
times.
that's
They've sent
awesome.
him
That's
some mail.
great.
My best friend went to Hawaii. She sent him a postcard from there. It was really sweet.
Oh.
And I'm very close to his family, which really, really, really helps. I actually stay there when I go and visit. So it's kind of nice. I feel like they're my second parents, and they're always so sweet to me
I love that
and
for
there for me.
you.
So
That's amazing.
I have more support than hate. I wouldn't even say I have hate because I really don't have anybody picking on me or necessarily making me feel bad, So mostly all support. So I'm lucky in that way. It does help a lot, and I know some people don't have that. So if you don't have that, you gotta come beyond the group and come to the things because it will help. It'll feel better for sure to talk to people who get it.
So since this is going to be technically your first Christmas without him, technically, since
Yeah,
I guess your first let's just say last year was your first because you technically were talking. So whatever. The
yeah,
connection started.
technically.
So this is the second.
Yes.
So this is your second Christmas without him. Is there anything that how are you feeling, I guess, with it approaching, since this will be kind of like a newer
Yes.
experience?
Yeah. Right now, I'm feeling okay, but I think probably most people might feel the same way. I think every day it can change and kind of depend on other things. Sometimes my emotions change very quick, and that might be because I have ADHD, or I might just be an emotional girl. But yeah, I anticipate it might be a little more hard than I feel right now. Based on Thanksgiving was a little kind of hit me in the face out of nowhere. I was there with his family, and I thought, oh, this will kind of make me feel good, like make me feel close. But after, we ate and everything, I just felt so sad, so overwhelmed, like, and confused. Like, why do I feel so sad? I'm like literally a mile from him, and I'm gonna see him the next day. But I felt so sad. So it's hard because I feel a really like great sense of love and happiness because I feel like it's Christmas, like the day we met. It's so romantic in a way to me, like a good memory. But there is that other part where obviously a lot of longing, I think, to be together. So I try to focus on the positive, but some days it's really hard, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I just break down. Um, I put my hand on the other side of the bed sometimes. And sad. It's like, why aren't you here? But it's challenging. But I think you have to balance it. I think when you feel sad, sometimes you have to feel that, and sometimes when you feel good, you have to roll with that too. So I think I'll feel a high and I'll feel a low. So I just hope the high feels nice when we're together and doing things together, and I hope when we're not, I can kind of push through any way I can. So we'll see, I guess, a couple days.
And I love that you brought up your experience at Thanksgiving, because I totally feel you on that, where you go to his home, I don't know if it's his old home from
It
childhood or
is
not.
his old
Yeah.
home. I
So,
sleep in his bed.
Oh, God.
yeah. And so you're like, I'm here, I'm feeling it, I'm getting the experience. And
Yeah.
you feel a sense of closeness when you do that, but you also feel a sense of emptiness because you feel like they should be here with
It's
you.
like
Like,
your
why
brain
aren't,
can't get it. Like, you're like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, you go back and forth with it, and
Yeah.
it's definitely a battle to feel to deal with, because you want to be with his family, you want to feel close to him, you want to feel like you're getting a part of him, even though he's not there. But the reality that he's everywhere in that house, but he's not there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's just a hard pill to swallow sometimes.
It is. It is.
And
And
are you planning to go to their house, like, for the holidays, or?
so I'm not. So I actually had my visit this weekend, so like
Okay.
Friday and Saturday yesterday. They actually, where he is, they don't do visits like on the holidays.
Okay.
So I won't be back till January. I usually go about once a month, unless it's something special, like his birthday or something. I can swing it, but I go once a month. So I will be this year. We are doing Christmas with my family, so I
Okay.
think that might also help a little bit, because it was kind of weird not doing it with them. Usually we do it. They're really big on Christmas, so last year was kind of weird, but I think that will help. I'll get to see my friends and some of my family, and I think it'll help, but it'll still be sad, because you can't help but think about all the things you would do if this person was there. I did kind of feel like it was Christmas when I was there. It was kind of nice. It was like a build up to that. So it felt good in a lot of ways, but we'll see. And if it does hit, as like you said, I think you just have to find ways to, you always just have to kind of process that, because it is valid and it is real. And it is hard. Yeah. It's hard to love someone and, I guess, yearn for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was going to ask, I know you said, it's important to feel the feels. I think that's so true. I think when you shove them down or you shove them under the rug, it's not healthy. But what are some things that help you, that you could do, that you normally do to help you when you're in like that funk, or when you're in the longing period where you're feeling sad? Like, what are some of the tips that or things like self-care or whatever you do?
Yeah.
What are some things that help you get through those hard times?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Self-care, definitely. I'm a big supporter of self-care. You have to do it. Like, you have so much going on day to day, whether it's work, you have kids, Googling things for your loved one, all the things, right? Like little things. I always think of it like a jar, and you put like little things in and it fills the jar, and you only have so much day to day. And even silly little things like Google, like I love Googling, so my fiance will listen to this. I love Googling. But sometimes it's like that little thing sends you over the edge, I feel like, when you're already kind of having a bad day. So self-care is really important, especially for a lot of people in these relationships. I know I'm lucky because he has such a supportive family and other people there to help. But I know some people in different situations, it's just them and their loved one, and so that's a lot. It can be a lot. So self-care, you have to do it. And what I do is I actually bought a wheel on Amazon, like a spinning dry erase wheel.
Stop.
I know it's
I'm
really
so
fun. I'll have
excited.
to send the link, but I wrote it's a dry erase one. It was like $10. I wrote anything and every idea of self care I would do. I had to be realistic because I have ADHD, so sometimes I'll be like, do all the things, and then I won't do any of them because I'm like,
Feel
wow,
that.
that all overwhelmed me. So like podcasts, music, I kind of do it by like categories. So like makeup, like face mask, take a bath, like take a shower. I put lots of options, so I'll pick one. Sometimes I get my nails done, but I bought like little decals. Sometimes I'll like decorate them for different things if I'm bored. Coloring, Legos. I have a lot of hobbies. Scrapbooking, watch my shows, listen to the podcast, anything, call my friends. I just put anything I could think of. Self-care is important, but you still have to feel the feelings. And so that's hard. Self-care is kind of like the distraction to bring you back, but feeling the feelings is essential. I think if you don't, they just stay, but they just come out in the worst way later over something stupid. And so you have to feel it and you have to be honest. I think whether that is with yourself, hopefully with your partner, with your friends, anybody. So it's hard sometimes. Sometimes throughout my life, I've had a hard time being vulnerable, even with myself. I've always been better at helping other people than myself. So sometimes you just have to say, this is really hard. I'm not really doing very well. Or even, I don't really, like on Thanksgiving, I don't really understand what I was feeling. It was kind of hard for me to label it, but I knew I was. So I just feel like I had to honor that and vocalize that. Even if you don't have anyone to say it to, I say you just say it out loud. It sounds really silly, but I think it helps. Doesn't fix it, but it helps a little just to say, this sucks, this is BS, this is driving me nuts, this is unfair, this is awful. And sometimes I feel that like that release after, it's like I'm just fighting myself, not owning up to it.
Especially
And just say it is like, yeah.
especially
that felt kind
if
of
you're
good.
like trying to like let like your loved one know, because like otherwise a lot of the times they don't know, and if you're not vocalizing it
Right,
to them, they're like clueless,
right,
and they're like, why are you all angry? And you're like, well, I've felt like
yes,
this for X amount of time, and
yeah.
I was trying to
Yeah,
balance
I think
it.
it helps. I think it helps to tell too. And in the beginning, I get in. Maybe you don't want to burden them or feel like, oh, they already have so much stress. But I think it actually helps the relationship. And I mean, Ryan can tell the second I answer the phone, what's wrong?
Yep.
He'll say, and I say, nothing. Yeah, and he's like, I can tell. So just tell me when you're ready. And I'm like, oh boy, maybe something is wrong. And by telling, I think it helps too. It does help sometimes when he's, when I'm like, I just missed you so much. It's really hard.
Hmm.
Sometimes he says, oh, I miss you so much too. Like, I'd rather be there than here. And it's like, duh, but sometimes it's still nice.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not the only one feeling this way. And it's normal.
For sure.
It's normal to miss people.
I
It's nice to have something worth missing. So,
I literally yesterday when Joseph and I were talking, and as soon as like I was having a terrible day, I'm like going through like my mother nature and all that fun shit, and I just like my mental capacity, I know what I could and couldn't handle, and I couldn't handle a lot yesterday, and that's why yesterday when he like called me, I was like, hey, just so you know, bad mental health head day. And like me telling him that, it does so much for him because he internalizes everything. And if I act a certain way or if I'm distant, he automatically thinks that something's wrong with me or us. And it's
right.
like, no, my brain, please don't make it worse when it's my brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good
So,
though. That was like the last point I was actually, so it kind of ties in good. I was gonna say sometimes taking space is good too.
hmm
I think, and just coming back together later, be like, I need a little time. I'm kind of feeling a lot, especially for me. Like I said, I need a little time when people are like, how do you feel? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I need like a little time to sit with things. So sometimes it is good to say, I need a little time. Feels really heavy. And to work through it, I need a little time because I don't know how I feel. So how is anyone else going to help me if I'm like, I don't know, I just feel bad.
Especially as like an
So
ADHD person, sometimes I feel like a lot of the times we don't know
yes,
what feelings are
especially
ours or other people's, or you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know.
yes, it's busy in there
Yes.
sometimes.
Mhm.
And I know Ryan does that too. He
Mhm.
takes space sometimes, especially there's a lot of frustration in there. And sometimes he says, it's not you. I love you, but I need a little time to just chill out because everyone here's stressing me out. So I said, you should take that time. And then we always come back together,
Yeah.
when it's right. So it's better that way, I think, than to just have a lot of feelings and possibly take it out on each other. So, yeah.
You guys are like the perfect couple for us to even start this series out with because
I
I feel
know.
like it's so
Perfect.
great. It's like everything we talk about, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
love like you guys have only been
Yes.
together a year, but like I feel like you guys are gonna have such great success with your
Yes.
relationship, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like
That's very sweet.
seriously. And I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Yes. It's a very, well, it's not perfect. No relationship is perfect, but in my world, like after everything I've like experienced, it's perfect for me. It's everything I could want and more. Even the hard, I think you guys asked on a previous podcast, it was like a question, right? Like, would you rather have all the good days or like 100 hard days with your loved one or something like that? And I asked him and he said, no, I'd rather have 100 hard days with you. And I said, no, me too.
Mhm.
It's like life before and life now. I can't go back. I can't even imagine
No.
my life without, because I just kind of was consigned thinking, I'll just be alone or I'll have lots of animals or I'll have some kind of mutual thing where I maybe meet a man and we just live together, but it won't work out, or
Yeah.
just something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But he's just exceeded even the things that frustrate me or irritate me, it's like sometimes I laugh when he's making me mad. He's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, I just love you so much. It's very hard to be mad. It's hard to be mad. Because I know he would do the same thing for me. So he puts up with well, actually, he doesn't put up with me. He gets to experience me, which is a joy. So
Period.
yes.
Yes, indeed.
I would agree.
So, yes. It's a blessing, right? No matter what. So it's worth it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, but thank you. That's so sweet.
Yes, of course.
Well, I'm about to put you in the hot seat, Danielle.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you for sharing your story and your journey and I love your wheel idea. I think that's great. I think that's a little something that somebody may take as a great idea to help themselves, make sure they take care of themselves too. I love that,
Yes.
especially for the holidays. But I did put out a questionnaire and you got 3 questions.
Okay.
So,
That's
I'm
exciting.
gonna ask you these
But
questions
you have to ask our
and
question too. But she already knows.
our question. Oh yeah, I'll do that one last.
Okay.
All right. This is you got 2 from That's Faith for you. She first asked, "Have you always had a thing for the bad boys?"
Sorry. That's funny. I want to say no, but if I'm being really honest, it's probably if I'm going off of maybe like fictional, TV shows, like I always had a big crush on Jax and like Sons of Anarchy. I feel
Oh,
like he's
yeah.
Girl,
kind of
yeah.
a bad boy. The Vampire Diaries, I guess they're kind of like bad boys, right? I mean, they're vampires, so probably. I think yes. But I think now that I'm older, it's not so much about that. I think I've always just wanted someone who matches my energy, and I feel like my energy is hard to describe even for myself. Like I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic, but I don't want to be bored, and I want someone who likes adventure because I love adventure and doing and seeing all these things, and I like someone who's funny and can just laugh it, but we can also be serious. So I think maybe I looked for love in the wrong places for a long time. I guess I'll say it like
Okay.
that. But I think most people, are attracted to a bad boy a little bit.
Yeah.
But we like the bad boy, but we want the bad boy
Gentleman.
to be good.
To
Good
be a
man, yeah.
gentleman also.
Yes. Yes. But I think if me and Ryan met in any circumstance, I would like to think we would still have matched and kind of like been together. So that's, I guess, not what drew me to him, but I guess yes, for the sake of the question, yes, probably.
All right. She said she also asked this question, and it might be actually a good question, because this is you're coming to that year mark.
Yeah.
What tips do you have for someone with a new relationship with someone that's incarcerated?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was kind of thinking about some of the stuff just generally earlier, and I guess I would say, what tips would I give? Something I feel like I'm always working on is balance. I think when you love someone, it's very normal to want to give a lot to them, and that's great because I think when you love someone, you should give them a lot of you, but you also have to give that to yourself. You have to take care of yourself as much or as equal to, I think, you would do for anybody else. I imagine a lot of people in these relationships have a lot of empathy, and so it can be easy to give. I think you guys kind of talked about this last time a little bit too. So having that balance, you have to give yourself the same, just because, no matter what your situation is as a person, you have to take care of yourself. Another thing I guess I've kind of was thinking about today is how much I've learned to appreciate the little things. Actually, I think you guys kind of talked about this too, like slowing down and having to communicate with someone has helped me a lot. Like just realizing all the little things he remembers about me, like how he knows when I call, what's wrong. Like I've never had anybody be so aware and invested in me that I had to slow down and really appreciate, his situation, right? He can't take me on vacation. He can't get me all these nice things. We can't go to dinner. We can't do some of these things that other people get to do, and that might build the relationship or kind of build trust or however you look at it, right? So I've kind of had to really appreciate the little things, like the good morning text, like him remembering, oh, don't forget, like, to eat. You have a busy day today. Like checking in on me, all that, like the cards he sends me, the things he remembers about my friends, like that is so special. I think that stuff is easy to miss sometimes if you don't slow down and appreciate it. And I think for us, all we have right now is a lot of little things. And so I think if you appreciate them and look at them, they build to something beautiful. And it's hard because a little part of me is a perfectionist. So sometimes you want these big grand things, but it doesn't have to be. I think effort is the most important thing. Like, he has to go through a lot to send me a card, So while some people might, oh, it's a card, great. To me, it's like the best thing ever. I'm like, oh my God, a card. I keep it next to me for like weeks until I get the next one. I'm just like, I love this card. I love this effort. So to some people that might be, there's a whole people on TikTok and stuff, the bare minimum. If he wanted to, he would. But sometimes you have to be realistic. They have a lot of things going on for them, and they still choose to be in a relationship, which I imagine for a lot of people is harder to be in a relationship when you could just be by yourself and worry about yourself, So I think for people in that to choose love and make that effort, that's a great thing. So I guess I would tell people, try to think about those things because you can miss some, and I think there's still really lovely moments worth celebrating, at least to me. So I guess that's my advice, which is a lot of advice.
Well, I love that you said about the card, the effort, because I think that's why people don't understand why prison wives and prison girlfriends love those like cards that people make, the paintings, the hobby craft, or the little things that they make in there. Like, yes, a paper rose seems stupid, but the fact that they had to like work hard to get all the resources just to be able to and spend the time to make that for you just shows the effort and dedication that they have.
Right.
And it seems something so trivial, it just, but the work and the love behind it, it's so meaningful.
Yes, I think so too. And it's hard sometimes because I understand longing and wanting more when you love someone too. On some days it is hard because it would be nice just to have him here or go on a date. But I do think it says a lot, and I think it is meaningful. It's nice and it means a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm glad other people feel that way. It's nice, and they always come. The cards always come at the times when I need them most. I feel like so.
It's like they know.
I know. Good intuition.
All right, and our last question is from Christina Kate. She said, "Yeah." She said, "What is something you dream about doing with your man when he is out?"
And this was so funny. Christina actually told me ahead of time that she asked the question because she said, "I don't want you to be nervous in case you don't know how to answer."
Aw,
it."
she's so sweet.
She's so considerate. Hi, Christina, my prison wife bestie.
Aw.
And so it was funny because I told her Ryan actually asked me this like a day ago. So I was like, wow, this is such a weird coincidence. And I said, oh, do I only have to pick one thing? It's so hard to pick one thing. It's so hard to pick one thing. I feel like I don't even know if there is one thing, but what I told Ryan and what I told Christina is I'm just so excited for all the little things. I guess I'm bringing that back, but all the silly little things that I think most people would be like, who cares? Like I told Ryan, I want to go to the grocery store and I want to see what you would pick. Like, or I want to see what you want to try. Or even if we went to TJ Maxx, like I want to see what you'd put together. I want to see how he would drive, like just these silly things, but I know him so well, but I just love who he is. I think he's just a really kind, special person. I feel like I would love to see him free doing these silly things that everyone else gets to do, but I would just love to see how he does them in his own way, you know? So that's what I would love to do. And I'm sure some of those things will be very interesting to see. Not driving after so long might be scary, but you know, I would just love to see him grow, and be like he is his true self. But you know, your true free self in the free world, I think, would just be like a special thing. So that's what I look forward to. Everything, I guess.
Aw, I love that.
Thanks.
All right, and our final question is one we ask all of the people that come on our pod. What is your and Ryan's astrological signs?
Oh, okay, cool. He is a Virgo and I am Aquarius.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
which is actually kind of random and funny. When we first met, one time I Googled, you know, do Aquarius and Virgo make a good romantic couple? And somewhere on the internet it said no. And I told Ryan, like the stars said we're not a good match. And he said, girl, I don't need the stars to tell me what I already know. We are a perfect match. So it was funny though, because I was not really big into that. Well, my friends, you know, mention it here or there, but I'm starting to really, I feel like a lot of times when I check it, it's on the nose, maybe not with everything, but some things. And then I've read plenty of things now where it says they are great together. So I think some of it's destiny, but some of it is very interesting to read about. So Virgo.
No, I feel like with Aquarius and Virgo, your passion and your drive and his organizational skills, you guys could take over the world.
I hope so. He is very motivated, and I'm selectively motivated when my ADHD isn't kicking my butt. So
Feel that.
or when it interests me.
Feel that.
So I think we can be. We have a lot of strengths that like complement each other pretty well. I feel like whenever I struggle, like he's kind of on it, so it's kind of nice. It's nice. But yeah, I'll have to let him know that he's interested in it. Actually, when I wrote to him, he said, I'm a Virgo and I'm very interested in finding a compatible sign. So I think actually, wow, that's coming back to me. I think when I wrote him, I said, I don't know if we're compatible, but I'm an Aquarius. So that's kind of funny. I'll have to tell him. That brings me back. That's nice.
You'll have to pull your
Well,
birth
I just
charts
wanna-
and do it one day.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, you can do your big three and see, because that
I
probably
did
gives you a better
once.
read.
I'll have to revisit that.
You should.
Because I asked his mom, I said, where was he born? I gotta like do all this research. So I know I did it at one point, but I can't remember now.
Do it and let me
I'll have
know.
to relook.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yes, I'll let you know. It is fun.
Well, thank you so much, Danielle, for being here and sharing your story and sharing your tips and how you get through the hard days. And I can't thank you enough for being a part of our group. You came in and like you just fit right in and, got to know a lot of the girls. And obviously now you've made really good friends with a few of them.
Yeah.
And we're just blessed to have you in Love Within Walls. And we were blessed to have you on the podcast today to get us started on our holiday storytelling series.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's so sweet. That makes me feel really good. And I'm super happy. Thank you for having me. It meant a lot to me. It was really nice to just kind of talk freely. And it's exciting, like, got out of my comfort zone and meet just so many nice people. It's been very, very, very lovely. It really helps me, especially on the hard days. So happy to be here. And I'm happy to be the first because for some reason in my mind, I thought I might be the last.
No, you're the first.
So I was like, that's crazy.
Yay.
Because Ryan was like, listen to the other ones if you're nervous. I said, there are no other ones. I think I'm first. So I just have to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, just be yourself. He said, everyone that knows you loves you because you're just yourself. So I channeled his advice and I said,
He knows. Yeah.
he knows. He says, you're a force. Just be yourself. And
it wasn't that bad.
no, it wasn't
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
bad at all. I feel like it flew by.
Did great.
And it was just, like you said, talking to friends. Well, you guys are my friends, but, so I was like,
Mhm.
I'm nervous. So, but no, I could do that again. It was not so bad.
Well, thank you so much again.
Yes,
And we hope
thank
you
you.
have a great holiday. And Ryan has a
Thank
wonderful
you.
holiday as well.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, Paige, I'm getting a phone call. Who could it be?
Who is it?
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Freddie.
an inmate at Florida Correctional Institution.
All right, guys, it's that time. It's time that Florida Fred, our favorite scammer, gives us a phone call. And obviously, we have to take it and we answer your questions and comments. So I'm going to go ahead and get the first one started here. All right. This is from the lovely Danielle. She asked, what's a prison wife label or stigma you hear? And what's your counter argument against the hate?
You go first.
Oh, okay. Put me on the spot. All right. That something's wrong with us. Like we have like we're not mentally stable or we're not, we something must be wrong because we're choosing to love someone incarcerated. And my counter argument is, okay, well, I'm choosing to love. There's nothing wrong with me. I am an independent, stable woman who runs her own household, has her own car, pay my bills, pay my mortgage. Like, how am I unstable?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, living down by the river. I'm living a normal life and I work and I'm a productive citizen of society. I'm sorry. Oh, I have a mental problem. I think everybody's thing now is to go, oh, you have a mental problem. Oh, you need help. Like, you need to seek help. Like, that's everybody's go-to now. And I feel like it's very dangerous to throw that in somebody's face that they're like mentally unhealthy or have a mental health problem. Not only are you stigmatizing mental health, but you're also like, I guess like, what's the word when you branding someone without even knowing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate the generalizations when it comes to that.
To not say that, because I feel like that's like the biggest one. Maybe that all prison wives or like wives of the incarcerated aren't scammers or like these con artists that some people or pages like to say that we have like some like big plot, or like we have
Yeah.
some like underground like we're like also in on it, or like some of these people, like when they hear about like your loved one's crime, they actually like, I feel like they envision us standing beside them and like we were there.
While they're
Yeah,
doing it.
like we were there or
Yeah.
something, because that's how they treat us. And it's like, I wish that they could understand that we are two separate people and entities, and it's possible that just because like I'm able to love this person because they did these things, and it's okay that you don't get that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as soon as you say I'm in love with someone that's in prison, they are like, they get that face, that face. Like, they're like, oh,
Yeah, like you're
oh,
weird.
yeah, like you're a criminal too. Like, like you should put handcuffs and chain you to the wall. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know how to fight. Sometimes I'm like, I don't
It's
know.
not worth
I don't know how to
it's
fight.
not
I
worth
get to,
fighting, and it's not worth letting it upset you, honestly, because
yeah,
it's like, who are these people? I don't care about them. Who are, like, they're like random people that, like, a lot of the times it's projection, and they're going through something in their life, or like you're doing something that they are scared of or never could do, and it's like, it's enough to know that and be able to separate it and be like, okay, like, g- I
yeah.
hope you feel better,
Yeah, or these people are just miserable. And like you said, they're projecting and making fun of someone else or putting someone else down makes them internally feel better. Sometimes and I'll say this, sometimes I go, ooh, ouch. Do you feel better now that you got that off your chest? Thanks.
That's usually
Like, like clearly you've got some insecurity that you're projecting onto me. So do you feel better now that you've put me down? Okay, good job. Bye. Like, not even phased by it. And believe me, I've gotten it. And listen, being a prison wife has given me, and doing this podcast especially, I would say more of doing this podcast, putting myself out there, has made me more into my fuck it era. Like, I just don't care. Like, there are people that watched that clip of me doing the interview and like had all these atrocious things to say about me, but they don't even know me. I don't even know them. Who cares?
They literally are taking like a clip that was edited down, and they're forming their own opinions of the small clip, and it's like, that's not even the full aspect. And if they really cared to know, they would. And it's like, that's why it's like, all right, I'll let you sit and have whatever party you want to have here.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better to put me down, hope you feel better. But clearly, something's going on with you that you have to sit here and make these hateful comments, All right, you have the next one, darling.
Miss Addie said, what is the title of your holiday Hallmark movie about your relationship?
Candy canes and razor wire? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a creative, like my Mother Nature has hit me hard this week, y'all. I don't, my creative brain is fried.
Yeah.
I don't even have a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I can't. Holiday
holidays and cinder blocks. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to be able to go to Christmas Day and spend Christmas Day with my husband. But hey, because of our contact visit yesterday, I'm going to do fireside nights by the fire, because we had a picture. What is it? One of those like screen printed like backgrounds with the fireplace. So it was fake. It's cinder block and fake fireplaces. That's our Christmas Hallmark movie. All right. Dan Gurr also asked, if you could walk in someone else's shoes for a day, who would you pick and why?
I don't have a specific person in mind, but I have like ideas of what their life would be like. Does that work? Like they don't have stress. They know how to handle anxiety and don't worry about what other things. They have money and don't have to worry about money, and they're just generally a happy person. Like, I don't care who it is. If they have all of those things, I would love to take a break from my goddamn life and live that.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Okay. Totally cool. I'm actually gonna go with an influencer on TikTok and Instagram. I think it's the SAH girl. Her and her husband live in one of those. They have like a van that they live in. Like they live in one of those like Sprinter vans that they've like, like obviously tailored, built to their needs. I would love to just live that lifestyle. Like live kind of like wake up, and they wake up like on the beach, like because they park at like parks on the beach and they stay there overnight. I would love to just be able to wake up and look at the water and not have to worry about like my home is basically my van, and kind of just maybe go to the national parks and spend the night there in a van, like just to experience like a different way of living. I think I would love to have like a lifestyle where I don't have to have people worrying about everything for me, and I don't have to worry about anything. It's all taken care of. I just show up. But I also want to experience just something, I guess, like taboo in essence, in a way, like that's not like like owning a home. Like you're living in a van and you're making your life on the road, and I would love to kind of have that adventurous life for a day. Just for a day. I don't know if I could do it for a long stretch, but just for a day, I could do it.
I could never live in a fucking van. That sounds like hell. Like, there's nothing fun about that to me. Like, I'm bitching and complaining the whole time.
It looks interesting.
Like, it'd be cool to wake up on the beach, but that'd be it for me. And then I'd be like, okay, when you go back to the van and there's sand, like my like ADHD, like I'm like like I would lose it.
Love it. I love it.
Anyway.
All right, you have the next one, Dolly.
Yes, one more from Miss Danger. What is your biggest, best green flag, and what is your partner's green flag?
Ooh.
I feel like
Michael's green.
Oh.
Go ahead. You go.
Okay. I feel like Joseph's green flag is his ability to handle me and communicate with me. That's like the best part about him, and the way that he's able to handle like my mood swings and like not hold it against me, like because I don't have people like that in my life. Like I'm so used to like people that I will get comfortable with people and they'll see that side of me, which isn't always fun or anything, but like then I'm used to like having it be like he would never even do that, and like that's like I feel like would be his, other than everything else that's great about him. Mine, maybe like my empathy and my big heart, and like I care a lot about everything, and especially like if you're like one of my people or something close to me, like I will like do anything I can to like take care of you or help you, or like I don't know, you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, you're like the mama bear
In a way. Like I want to do things to help. Like I care.
Correct.
And I couldn't, and sometimes it's to a fault where I am friends with people that maybe don't deserve it.
Correct. Yeah. But you have a big heart. That's definitely a green flag for sure. Michael's would definitely be, he's so honest and understanding. And, if I come to him with something, he's like, he just listens to understand, and he helps me. And he's just like, if I can't do something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's also like Joe in the fact that he can handle me so well and my moods and all of my Gemini self. He loves
that
it.
in its own is like such an attractive quality, because it's like that you can put up with my craziness. Like, okay.
Yeah. Like and And this is why, like, and going back to some of the other questions, like, this is why when people go, why don't you just date somebody out here? Because no one gets me.
Yeah, or can love me or put up with me, or like it's like a puzzle piece type shit. It's like you don't fit.
Yeah, we fit. Like, yes, I would love to have Michael out here. And yes, I would love to have a partner in my home with me. But I would rather do this with Michael than live a life that's not healthy, that be in a relationship that's toxic, be in a relationship that's not healthy for me, over again. I don't want to do that just because I want somebody out here, just because I want a companion right next to me all the time. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want that, but I don't want it at the cost. I want green flags. I do not want red flags at all, ever again. I've had them. I do not want them anymore. So that's why when people go, well, why are you with him? It's like, well, because like he completes me in a way that nobody ever before ever has. He is the man that I've been waiting for. And I told him this. This is how healthy our relationship is. I don't need you. I'm not codependent. I don't need you in my life. I want you in my life. And there's a huge difference there. Because my husband is a beautiful, I always say this. I said it in 2018. I'm going to say it now. He is a beautiful person. If you take the time to get to know him, and and you guys are Patreon people, the people that see us interact know. You know what I mean? Same with you and Joe, Paige. Like, the people that see y'all together, that know you two, know that y'all are like a strong, green flagged up couple. You know what I mean? So, but that's Michael's. Michael's just straight up so compassionate, so understanding, so kind, and can handle me and can deal with me. And he actually likes the curveballs I throw at him. I mean, he handles them so well. So my green flag, I'll stop talking about Michael, but because I can talk about him all day. My green flag would be, I think also I have a very, I know people have put me in their villain mode, or their villain arc. But I probably am if you don't know me, you should know that I will do anything for my friends and my family. I will give my shirt off my own back to make sure you are warm. I am a generous person. I'm a kind person. I'm a nice person. Now, that doesn't mean if you cross me, I'm not going to be petty patty, because I'll go there. But I truly treat everyone with respect and dignity. And I feel like I'm a compassionate person, and that's my green flag. And sometimes, I'll be honest, like sometimes that has bit me in the ass. It came back to bite me, people take my kindness for weakness. But not no mo. But I would say it's my heart too. I think to be in this life, you have to have a big heart. I don't think you can, you have to see past a lot of the surface level shit. So yeah, I would say the same. So
Love it.
That's all green flags. Did you have any other ones, or that's it? That was the last one? Okay. Wow. All right. Well, we made it through episode 79. And we love you guys, and we'll be back. We hope that you have a wonderful, very Merry Christmas, because it's coming out on Christmas Eve. Do you have any plans for Christmas, Paige?
Just with the fam.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do Christmas Eve with my fam and Christmas Day with Michael. So I'm winning. Hashtag winning. But we hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and we will be back next week with the second installment of the storytelling prison. Oh my God, I can never say it right. Jeez, Holiday Storytelling Prisonwife Story.
It's fine. They get it.
I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop. All right, guys. Well, we love you. Thank you for being here with us. We hope you have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season, and we will see y'all next week.
Merry Christmas, friends. Love you. Thanks for listening.
Feliz Navidad. Bum, 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 bum. Besitos.
Bye, friends.
Guys.
This is for the prison wife. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go. I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head. They don't see the late nights, letters on the table. Fighting through the system, just trying to stay stable. They don't see the count days, they don't feel the time crawl. They just see the sentence, but they don't see the love at all. Yeah, I made a vow and I stand 10 toes. Still got my life, still got my goals. I hold it down cause I choose to stay. This love got walls, but it don't got chains. Don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go. I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head. I'm a prison wife, but I'm still my own. Made my own moves, still stand on my throne. They think I'm just sitting here wasting my days. Nah, baby, I've been building while he counting the days. I ride for my love, I ride for my king, but I ain't no fool, I handle my biz. I ain't weak, I ain't lost, I ain't throwing my worth. I hold it down cause I know what it's worth. Through the letters, through the calls, through the gates, through it all. Love don't break, love don't fade. I'm still here, I'm still brave. Still don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change. Still don't break, love don't fold. I hold strong, I don't go. I don't wait, I don't beg. I hold it down and lift my head.
Don't break, love don't fold. I'm still here, I'm still gold. Through the glass, through the gates, ain't no distance make me change.
Still don't